Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me how turning to Allah can lead you to amazing changes in your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're back with another uplifting story, or I should say stories, that will, by the grace of Allah, strengthen your faith and renew your hope, inshallah. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. If you've sent an email to join our challenge support group and I haven't replied, then at this point I can confirm to you I haven't received it, unfortunately. The email address inspiring_narratives@hotmail.com is a valid email address, but I've noticed that while some people's emails are coming through, others haven't reached me. The best way around this would be for you to send me a direct message on Instagram. I'll be able to assist you that way, inshallah. You'll find the link of my Instagram account in the description of this channel, inshallah. Okay, we've all heard so much about the Hawqala and the incredible stories of how people have experienced its blessings by the grace of Allah. Personally, I have had amazing experiences with it too, and not just with big issues. It's something I practice regularly. Honestly, I love the Hawqala. It's one of my favorite dhikrs. It's my go-to whenever I'm dealing with any kind of difficulty or hardship. I've found no better way to face life's challenges, whether it's stress, anxiety, financial struggles, relationship issues, or even health problems, whatever it may be, any difficulties in life. It helps resolve difficult situations, overcome hardships, and find peace in moments of sadness and uncertainty. It truly brings ease and comfort when we need it most. A woman shares her story. She says, "I've been married for over 14 years, living like an ordinary woman, like any wife. But there were things I've wanted in my life for so long, things I've dreamed about. One of the biggest things was hoping my husband would change his attitude towards me. It was really tough. If I tried to describe it to you, you'd wonder how I've managed to live with him. He's an ordinary guy. We had a traditional marriage and we have 2 sons and 2 daughters. The problem is he is very difficult to communicate with. There was no understanding or communication. He's so stubborn and set in his ways. Once he makes up his mind about something, that's it. Whatever he decides, it's final, no matter what, even if he's wrong. At the beginning of our marriage, we used to fight a lot because I wasn't used to his ways. But eventually I just got used to it and accepted my situation. I would tell myself that divorce isn't easy, and people would start to talk, oh, she's divorced. And to just put up with it seemed like the safer option. I've spent all these years living like this. I used to compare my life to my sister-in-law's and my brother's wives. Their lives were so different from mine, especially in how their husbands treated them and how they raised their children. I would even talk to them about it. They would ask me about my children and they'd be blunt with me, saying, "Why did you marry him?" Things of that nature. Even my children would talk about their father in that way. And honestly, I wasn't raised to talk like that about our father, or to let a daughter speak poorly of her father. I had raised my kids to be open with me, so they would talk to me like that, and it was bad enough that their father didn't give them the opportunity to speak, or the space to speak their own minds, so I didn't want to do the same. I wanted them to be able to express their thoughts and share their opinions with me regardless. I would try to comfort them and tell them that this is the divine decree, and we must accept it with patience and trust. Indeed, everything happens by His wisdom, and as believers, we should accept it with faith and contentment. My son, who is almost 14 years old, his father would treat him like a 3-year-old. Can you imagine? No communication or appreciation. There were days when I would cry because of how my husband treated our son. I would compare him to my brothers and their children, or to my sisters and their marriages. The difference was huge. My son would even tell me, "Look at how uncle treats his children. Look at aunt's husband with their children. Look at dad with us." Honestly, I regret marrying him. I often used to think to myself, is it even possible for things to change after so many years? They used to tell me it's impossible, don't even think about it. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. And his mind was set. And I lived with believing that it was impossible for him to change. One day, something happened that changed everything. A moment of relief. As if Allah had finally answered my prayers. It was during a family event, my brother's wedding. My husband, to be fair, has always been good with money and expenses, but his attitude just drives me crazy. Even people would often ask me, how do you put up with him? Anyway, it took a lot of convincing to get him to come with me to the wedding, but he finally agreed. We got there and sat down, men and women in separate areas. After about 30 minutes, he suddenly told me, get ready, we're leaving. I asked him why, how can we leave now? But he insisted. My daughters were having fun, my sons were happy, but he just ruined the whole outing for us. I had been looking forward to this day for so long, and he spoiled it over nothing. It turns out he had gotten into an argument with my sister's husband, who had only spoken the truth, but my husband doesn't like being told he's wrong and couldn't respond, so he just stormed out, and of course I had to go with him. We ended up back at my parents' house. My father tried to calm him down, saying, come on son, be reasonable. My mother talked to him too, and everyone tried, but it made no difference to him. Honestly, it hurt me to see him disrespect and give no consideration to my parents. How could he treat them like that? They're elderly, just like his parents. Yet he had no consideration for them at all. My pride and my parents' dignity were on the line. I told him, I'm not going back with you. Do whatever you want. I'm staying here. And then he just said, fine, go ahead. You're divorced. Just because I asked him to respect my parents, just like he would respect his own. Imagine, he said it so easily in front of all those people. He embarrassed me after I had endured 14 years with him. But this time I didn't care anymore. What's done is done. My family tried to calm things down. My father held his hand. My mother talked to him. But he just wasn't listening. He had no shame in front of the guests or in front of my parents. My parents advised me to go back home with him, which I wasn't willing to do after what had happened. We decided not to ruin the wedding for everyone, so we finished the event. Later, my siblings and I talked about how wrong this situation was. I told them honestly, I'm done. Then something incredible happened. I swear by Allah, I had no idea that la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, there is no change or strength except with Allah, could change everything. I thought it was just something you said when someone died or when you heard bad news. I didn't know the true power and blessings until that day. I had heard someone mention the significance of saying it, so I thought, why don't I try repeating it? Maybe it will change my life. This life I've been enduring for so long. That night, after we finished the gathering, I went to bed with my daughter, who is about 7 years old. Everyone went to sleep, but I couldn't. I kept repeating, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Hoping to see its effect. For the first time, I felt something inside me shift. I felt reassured. A sense of peace. I felt comforted. Honestly, I used to be scared of him, but this time I wasn't. I felt that I was with Allah and Allah was with me. The next morning, my husband came to my parents' house. I thought he was coming like he usually does with no shame or care about what had happened. But to my surprise, he entered, greeted my father and mother, kissed their heads and said, forgive me, I lost my temper. I don't know how I could have done such a thing. You are like my own mother and father. I'm sorry. He asked them to call me. I came and sat down, and he kissed my head and said, I've wronged you. I truly appreciate your patience and understanding over the years. I know that many others, even my own family, might have found it difficult to stand by me as you have. I can't thank you enough for always being there for me. I promise to do my best to never upset you ever again. Honestly, as he spoke, I was in a state of shock. I couldn't quite grasp who this person was. For the first time in 14 years, he was apologizing and acknowledging his mistakes. This has never happened before. it was a profound moment. He told me tomorrow, inshallah, I'll go to court and see the sheikh to sort out the divorce. And he even called our eldest son to ask if I was planning to come back or if I wanted to get stuff for the children. He dropped things off for them and for me too, and told the children to stay at their grandparents' place until we could sort things out. It's crazy how his attitude has changed. He sorted out the divorce and we went home together. On the way back, he suggested we go out for dinner since it had been a while. So we did, and the kids played and had fun and everything was just normal, you know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how different he's acting all of a sudden. We bought a few things and headed home, and then he turns to me and says, I don't know how I was treating you the way I was. You're a kind person. He started saying all these things I've never heard from him before. It was the first time in my life to hear him speak in this way. Since that day, he's been different, better, with our children, with me, and even with my family. Every week he takes me to visit them and sits and chats with them, invites them over. I honestly don't even know what to say. It's like this big change just smoothed out so many of our issues and problems. It makes me think about La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah and how it can literally transform your life. It's such a simple phrase, but I started holding on to it. Whether I'm walking, lying down, in the kitchen, whatever, I'm continuously repeating it. And things started changing. 3 months after all of this, he tells me we need to move out of the house. The place we are in at the moment is a nice place and we were comfortable, but he just didn't want to stay there anymore. Funny enough, when we first got married, I didn't even want to live there. But we moved to the new area because I had wanted to live in that area. And then somehow Allah made it happen, subhanAllah. It all came after I started really committing to the remembrance of La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Allah's blessings just came pouring down on us. I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't stress about finding someone else to ask them for advice, whether it's a sheikh or anyone else in your family or whoever you may turn to fix your problems. Just turn to Allah directly. Pour your heart out to Him. I saw such big change in my life just by sticking to La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. May Allah bless our sister more and more, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Another sister who went through something similar, her husband is a great guy, but she had issues with his family, especially his older sister. Their dad had given her a lot of responsibility because their mother had passed away when they were young. There was some drama over the inheritance, and the sister didn't want to give her brothers their share. You know, large amounts of money can cause individuals to get greedy. Nobody wanted to confront her. They would say, I don't want to be on bad terms with her over money or upset her, as she was like a motherly figure to them, and they respected her. It was a mess, but this sister started saying La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah continuously, non-stop, for 30 days with the intention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would resolve this issue for everyone. A month later, out of the blue, she called all of us to a gathering and gave everyone their rightful share without any discussion or a single word. Everyone was surprised how she changed her mind. We know that this was from the blessings of La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, this month with the Hawqala challenge, all your problems and hardships will be resolved, inshallah, and you'll share with me your stories, inshallah. May Allah bless you. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you found any value in this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, then consider subscribing. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do leave a comment down below. I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.